Digital DNA. It's Team Startacus, and we're talking to Marko from Techstars. Marko, thanks ever so much for joining us.
No worries.
So Marko is the program director for Techstars in London.
Yes.
Okay, Marko, tell us a little bit about Techstars. What do you guys do?
So Techstars is a worldwide network that helps entrepreneurs succeed, and we do that. There are a number of kind of activities that we do, but we mostly kind of focus on the accelerator stage. So we run 40 accelerators globally. Most of them are corporate programs, so done and run in partnership with a corporate partner. They usually have a niche that they focus on. On the other side, we have a dozen city programs that are sector agnostic, meaning that all kinds of companies, all kinds of sectors in a batch, in a class of 10 companies, basically we accept. There's also the early stage, so the startup programs that basically focus on the startup weekend, startup weekend, startup digest, and startup week. And then we have also kind of the later stage, the venture side that focuses on the companies that go through the programs and then follow on and support.
Okay, so I'm assuming you get hundreds of applications for some of the programs you're on.
Yeah.
So what are the biggest mistakes that startups make perhaps when they're going through an application process with you guys?
So we do get a shit ton of basically applications, and there's a really intense process that we go through in order to select them. The mistakes, there's usually, so I'd say probably companies, there are companies that usually are run by a CEO. There's some kind of outsourced tech involved, meaning that usually those iteration processes are not or cannot simply be as fast as we would like them to be, and that's a challenge. So there are a number of companies that will come in as a single founder, great idea, where's the tech? The tech is somewhere in the outsourced agency somewhere, and then the iteration processes are on a weekly basis, which is just too slow. There's also, sometimes just the ideas, the companies that come to us might not be venture fundable, meaning that the market that the company is in is just too small, and potentially don't even need venture funding. They can simply bootstrap. They can basically grow it as they can normally. That's it.
Yeah. And like in terms of London at the moment and the startup scene there, how are you finding it? Is it still buoyant, or are you finding obviously there has been an impact obviously in BREXIT and the market there?
Yeah, so we have not seen an impact. It's still as strong, or probably even stronger actually. So I've been now with Techstars from 2014, and there was up until so far, and I'm knocking on wood here. There hasn't been any impact. We still have. So out of the 10 companies that we'll have, probably 6 will be outside of the UK. It's still attractive for the foreign companies to come in, base themselves in London, base themselves in the UK, and basically grow and raise and sell here. So we haven't seen an impact yet.
Okay, cool.
Or hopefully, hopefully, at all, right?
Yeah, no, totally. I think obviously with the startups and entrepreneurs, they just kind of evolve with the process, don't they? So it's not like things are going to stop. Yeah,
there is the kind of the mantra, or basically the thinking that they'll go on with the thing that they need to do. They'll figure it out. There are potentially important aspects that kind of need to be considered, from talent, from access to talent and access to capital. The capital is, there are initiatives happening in the UK kind of to potentially replace the outgoing capital, but the talent, if something does happen with the kind of with the immigration, then I think that can be a challenge.
That would be an issue, I mean, and I know how diverse the entrepreneurial scene is in the London area and the UK as a whole. And for obviously there to be a barrier to entry for people coming into the UK and that workforce, that would be probably a disaster.
I mean, in the last cohort we had, out of the 40 people, 45 people, it was 20 nationalities.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. Or that can be a problem.
So what's the most interesting or exciting part of the process for you? Is it shortlisting, finding the startups, or is it the process they go through after you're working with them?
I think because the criteria that we have is team, market traction, idea. So we really try to focus on the people, and we have been very fortunate, and I think we've done a good job this year as well on finding really high quality people that are motivated, that are nice people. So therefore, having that said, probably the thing that I enjoy most is actually in program working closely with those 10 companies. They come from all kinds of sectors. So we had in the previous cohort, we had from biotech to tourism to fintech to healthcare, and it's just a mix of everything. And then
like that mix.
Yeah, it is quite broad. It is quite challenging as well, because then we need to actually go out and find mentors and then investors who can actually help them
understand all industries.
Understand as much as we can. But it comes down to the people, and it comes down to basically their motivation and how well they work and how dedicated and motivated they are. So that's, I think, for me, that's the thing that matters, and that's what I enjoy most.
You mentioned the corporate programs that you run in collaboration with corporate partners. So what is the benefit there from a corporate angle in getting involved, obviously, with something like Techstars and the programs that you run?
So I think, we run a number of those. Probably the one of the first ones, in Europe was the fintech one with Barclays in London. There are a dozen of other ones now. So with Metro in Germany and SAP in Berlin, to then Statoil or Equinor now in the energy space in Oslo. The benefit for the corporates, there are a number of benefits, but basically I think the number one benefit for the corporates is to be close to the companies, to be close to the startups, to see what the two 18-year-old kids basically from a garage somewhere in the suburbs can actually build, and to be aware what's kind of going on. Usually during the program, it depends on the corporate, but most of the corporates collaborate with the companies and basically get the pilots out and when I say take the tech, they basically take on board the tech, see how they can basically benefit from the implementation in order to benefit their corporate customers and clients. So I think the benefit is basically being able to see what the startups are doing, where the innovation is coming from, what are kind of the challenges that these 2-3 people teams are actually tackling and solving, and how fast are they actually.
And I'm assuming it's a win-win really, so you've got the benefits to the corporates, and for the startups really they're validating with a massive client.
Exactly. So we say this quite often. So we get, for example, in the fintech space, we as Techstars London, we got 5-6 fintech companies. However, when a fintech company does actually apply to us, we say, hey guys, there's a Barclays program that we have. It's a fintech program. They have Barclays as a corporate partner, and they are bringing 50 to 100 mentors on board who are domain experts and bring not tradition, but basically dozens and dozens of years of expertise from the corporate side. And no one can match that, right? If you're solving a really, really niche problem within fintech, then I bet there's a dozen of people within the corporate partner that know that problem inside out and can say, hey, this is a real problem, or this is we have dozens of...
They're working in isolation.
Exactly.
And think there's the problem there or not.
So there's definitely benefit towards the companies as well, kind of from the actual mentoring to then actual potential use cases and pilots, and basically getting that technology incorporated and used.
And what better way to really early scale from a quick perspective than working with a corporate partner who can probably take you on that, give you access to their audience straight away.
We had it obviously takes time. So on some cases, companies that join the corporate programs, they potentially are a little bit later stage, meaning they would come in, they would already raise their seed, they would be kind of at the Series A stage, kind of they already have some kind of a product market fit, and therefore that kind of implementation or incorporation of their technology within the corporate partner can be easier. But we had a number of cases where a really, really early stage company would come to the corporate partner and get the mentoring, get the benefit, reach the Series A, reach the product market fit, and then the corporate partner will be like, okay, we can actually now get you on board properly.
Awesome. Marko, it's been a pleasure chatting.
Yeah, it was really nice talking to you as well.
Marko's going to be here tomorrow for the Upstart Pitch competition. He's one of the judges here, and I'm hoping he's going to go around and have a chat with all the startups now as well. So thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
And we'll definitely have a few beers over the next couple of days as well.
Talk to you soon, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.